Good evening, you're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. If our viewers remember, not very long back, there were visuals which beamed out to Delhiites, right bang in the midst of the COVID crisis when the crisis was peaking. Visuals of Arvind Kejriwal and Amit Shah at this massive COVID facility, which you see on your television screen. This was seen as India's biggest COVID facility in Chhatarpur, a 10,000-bed facility. Achievement of both the state of Delhi and the centre, where of course you had Amit Shah. Both of them took credit for this big massive facility, which would have made the load on Delhi much easier going ahead dealing with the COVID crisis, because mind you, at that point of time the biggest issue was what will Delhi do, because predictions were being made that we are going to touch about 5.5 lakh cases by the end of July. However, that hasn't happened. But what has happened is abject shame. Abject shame because the COVID facility that you see, which was lauded, touted as the state-of-art 10,000-bed biggest COVID facility in India. A few days ago, at this COVID facility, a 14-year-old child, mind you, a 14-year-old child was raped. We're going to get you the very latest on that. But once again, I want to take you through what has taken place in the national capital. A 14-year-old child was raped at this mega COVID facility, which both took credit for. There was, in fact, a social media credit war, which went on with Arvind Kejriwal's team on one side and the BJP on one side, taking credit for this massive COVID facility. The question that we asked today, who takes responsibility? A 14-year-old child, a girl who was COVID positive, who was lodged in this center, which was the security of which was provided by the ITBP. Who takes responsibility for that rape which has taken place? And sadly, this is not one instance, 3 instances in the last 1 week where young girls or women have got raped at COVID centers, COVID facilities, COVID hospitals. A 14-year-old COVID-positive child was raped. Yes, she was raped inside India's biggest COVID facility. Yes, the same facility which both the Home Minister and the Delhi CM showcased together as a big joint achievement, as India's biggest asset in Delhi's fight against COVID. A 14-year-old COVID-positive girl was raped inside India's biggest COVID centre, the Sardar Patel COVID Care Centre, that was developed at the Radha Swami Satsang Byas in Chhatarpur, Delhi. This girl was undergoing treatment there. The accused and his friend, both COVID-positive themselves, lodged at the same centre, preyed on the girl. The friend recorded the crime on his phone while the accused raped the girl in the washroom of the facility. Both have been arrested. However, both have now been taken to a government hospital as they are still COVID positive.
सर ये घटना हुई है तो ये एक्शन की बात ही नहीं है, तो क्रिमिनल मैटर बनता है। जो भी क्रिमिनल प्रोसीडिंग है एक्यूज्ड उनके अगेंस्ट में की जाएगी। और हम लोग की तरफ से तो इस बात के पूरे प्रयास किए गए हैं, इस बात को ध्यान में रखते हुए कि एक बहुत बड़े एरिया में बना हुआ है, इतनी बड़ी कैपेसिटी का है, तो वहाँ पे सभी की सेफ्टी सिक्योरिटी सुनिश्चित रहे।
हाँ, उसकी जांच करवा रहे हैं, पुलिस केस भी रजिस्टर हो गया है, तो जो भी दोषी हैं उन लोगों को सख्त सजा दी जाएगी। जो भी हुआ बड़ा दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है।
The incident has exposed dangerous security lapses inside the COVID facility. The sprawling facility works as an isolation center for mild and asymptomatic COVID patients. It has a capacity of 10,000 beds, of which only 250 are currently occupied. That leaves a lot of empty spaces unmanned. When the facility first opened, around 1,000 security personnel were to be deployed. However, with only a small section of the facility under occupation, 1,000 was reduced to 100 ITBP personnel, who now work in shifts here to provide security. Sardar Patel COVID Care Centre was inaugurated by Delhi LG Anil Baijal on July the 5th. When the facility was first inaugurated, a credit war between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party broke on social media. Aam Aadmi Party leader Atishi credited Delhi Chief Minister Kejriwal for India's largest medical facility, tweeting a photo of the centre comparing it with the Sardar Patel statue in Gujarat. In a bid to mock the Delhi government for trying to usurp credit, BJP hit back on social media. Wonder who takes credit now. Till now, there is no word coming in from the ITBP that reports to the Home Ministry on this massive security lapse. The young girl in question has been moved to a government hospital as her status is still COVID positive. This is not the first case, though, of rape at a COVID facility in India. On 16th July, a horrific incident of rape took place at a COVID quarantine facility of Navi Mumbai. A 40-year-old was raped by a 25-year-old man. Both were COVID positive.
तकरीबन 400 के ऊपर सब पेशेंट्स हैं और उसी पेशेंट में से एक युवक ने वहां पर एक औरत थी उसके ऊपर जोर जबरदस्ती की है। जैसे हमें पता चला हमने तालुका पुलिस स्टेशन में केस रजिस्टर किया है और उसको अरेस्ट किया है।
Another incident. A 30-year-old doctor has now been arrested attempting to rape a COVID-positive patient in Aligarh, Uttar Pradesh. How safe are women inside COVID quarantine centres and hospitals? Credit for the facility is taken by all. But who takes responsibility? Bureau Report, India Today. Takes responsibility. I have with me Nighat Abbas, Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson. I have Raghav Chadda from the Aam Aadmi Party. Mr. Chadda, I'd like to take you back to this tweet by your party person, your colleague Atishi, when this facility was launched. And that tweet went on to suggest clearly and understandably taking credit for this massive facility, saying that this is what, and we'll ask our producers to play that tweet, asking the if we can play that tweet, we're going to play that tweet. All right. So Atishi had tweeted out comparing this facility to the statue of Sardar Patel in Gujarat and saying this is what we have done. Credit was taken, Mr. Chadda, who takes responsibility?
Well, first of all, in fact, I had also issued a statement and put it out on my social media that the Radha Swami Satsang Beas COVID Care Center is the best example of partnership. And there are three critical partners. First is, of course, the Delhi government, which was setting up the unit. The second was the central government for all the help that they provided. And the third is the ITBP personnel who man the fort, who run the administration and the facility. And I still stand by my words, number one. Number two, yes, a deeply, deeply disturbing and an unfortunate incident has taken place. I'm given to understand that while CCTV cameras were installed inside the premises, some blind spots like the areas near the washroom, etc., were intentionally left because that's a private area. And the unfortunate incident happened in that area. The police has, of course, taken cognizance. The accused are now arrested. The inquiry is going on. They're in judicial custody, and strictest possible action will be taken. And this is not unfortunately, the sole incident in the last 1.5 months. More than 4 cases ranging from Panvel in Maharashtra to Aligarh, as you pointed out, as well as in Patna. We have seen incidents where patients, female patients in COVID care centers have either been molested or raped, which is deeply, deeply disturbing. And I think as a citizen of this country, as a Delhiite, my head hangs in shame.
Well, it's all right for the head to hang in shame, but what action is taken on ground is a separate thing. Where is the accountability? I'll come back to you, Raghav. I want to go to Ms. Abbas right now. Ms. Abbas,
may I just?
Yes, make your point.
I'll just one last sentence. You see, it's not that one is trying to pass the buck or shift the blame. I mean, it's a collective setup, and of course the blame also should fall on every partner in this project. But let me unequivocally say this, that the administration at this point in time is being handled by ITBP. And the police has also cross-examined certain ITBP personnel. They've registered their depositions, and inquiry is being conducted. So I think how it happened, what were the lapses, all these are questions that can be best answered by the ITBP personnel.
Well, you know, it's also a very classic situation in Delhi because when it comes down to security, it's never really the Delhi government's responsibility. And because the Delhi police is not under them, the ITBP is not under them. But Nikat Abbas, my question to you is, 1,000 ITBP personnel were required to man this 10,000 bed facility. Those 1,000 were turned to 100. Only 100 were manning a 10,000 bed facility. Raghav might say certain blind spots were left on purpose, but if only 100 ITBP personnel are manning a 10,000 bed facility and even they work in shifts, then where is the security?
See, first of all, I'd like to say that
all right, we seem to be having a bit of
Delhi are so unsafe, and this is very shocking. And also, I don't want these things to become so common that one day Delhi government comes up to me and every Delhi girl and says that these things are very inevitable, and this has to happen. I mean, there has to be some reason and some lapses which has been there. Raghav Chadha, as the elected member of parliament, the member of legislative assembly, he should have the answers right now, and he should be clear.
The answers, Nikat Abbas, should be with you as well. The ITBP reports to the Home Ministry.
I agree. This is the reason. That's why I agree with Raghav Chadha, and I'm not trying to blame anybody. But you know, when you're in the power of the Delhi government, you should have some answers, and you cannot just blame shift the blame to somebody.
Let's start with the answers, Nikat, that you give us, and we'll ask Raghav the answers he needs to give. So the ITBP had 1,000, let me repeat my question. The ITBP was supposed to provide 1,000 personnel to man a 10,000 bed facility. They were reduced to just 100, and that to be working in shifts. Clearly, this facility wasn't manned.
No, it is not that the facility was not there. I don't say that. As obviously there are like 3 multiple departments and maybe plus more departments who are handling this COVID center, and I cannot
Madam,
say that.
I don't think you understand my question. I'm saying 1,000 personnel from the ITBP were turned to 100 because there was only 250 bed occupancy. That would have left a massive amount of space unmanned. Ms. Abbas?
No, there has to be, Ms. Chaudhary, there has to be some reason behind it. I don't know what is the reason behind it. That I don't even know that you're saying this, that, you know, the manpower was less and it was not enough according to the COVID center requirement. But I'm sure there has to be some reason behind it. There were enough people there to handle the beds. But obviously something which has happened cannot be blamed over, or something which cannot be shifted. That yes, I really think that, you know, the government needs to take in the plan, and we should have to come up with an answer. We together, like Delhi government and the central government, has to come up with the answer
It's a little bizarre because I'm not being able to understand this. But having said that, I'll come back to the both of you. I want to cut across to Munish Pandey, who's joining me live right now. Munish Pandey, what is the word coming in from the ITBP right now?
Yeah, well, at this point of time, ITBP is trying to defend themselves, but the biggest question is that in a COVID center, where it has been promised that there will be security provided to every person, not only in terms of women, but also the male persons who have been admitted there, because you have to maintain strict protocol and social distancing. But even in that aspect also, on 15th of July, this minor was raped by 2 persons. They were also COVID positive, and at this point of time, the Delhi police maintains that they have lodged an FIR. They are investigating, but ITBP still trying to defend themselves. They are saying that they will probe this matter, and only after a detailed probe they will be able to give anything in concrete. Back to you.
All right, okay. Munish, any word on why from 1,000 ITBP police, ITBP personnel, it was moved to just 100, because 100 working in shifts cannot man a facility such as this?
Yeah, well, remember, Preeti, in this case, the number of people who have been admitted still in that COVID facility, they are very less in number. Almost 250 people have been admitted in that COVID center, and that is why the number of ITBP personnel were reduced at that point of time. but this can't be excused because even in that case also there has to be enough amount of security for all the people who have been admitted, because there are strict protocols even for the COVID patients.
But clearly that wasn't provided, Munish, and that's the big question. And who's answerable? Because right now it's really lovely to sit and say that it's unfortunate that this has happened. But Raghav, you know, the fact is, if we are going to go ahead and say we are going to open a 10,000 bed facility, we need to have enough support staff to man it, to provide security.
No, absolutely. And I think the way the operations as well as the maintenance of the facility was initially envisaged as well as implemented was, keeping that in mind, that a facility as big as this, which is touted as the biggest COVID facility in Asia, and needs to have the requisite number of security personnel as well as doctors, etc., and paramedics as well as other staff members, and therefore a professional body like the ITBP was brought in. In fact, whether you know this or not, we had written a letter to the Honorable Home Minister saying that this is a huge facility. Of course, we are setting it up. Of course, all arrangements from water to electricity, from bedding, etc., are being made. But we would require, great amount of manpower to run a facility like this. And it is at that point in time that the Honorable Home Minister was gracious enough to give his consent to, the deployment of adequate number of ITBP personnel. Now, all these things, whether they were available in the right numbers, whether it was properly CCTV'd, what was the reason, how did it go unnoticed? In fact, from what one is reading and what one is being given to understand, it is only after the girl, the victim of this unfortunate act, had confided in one of her relatives that this thing actually got out. The ITBP
no, that's the sad part. Nikhat, I need to move on, Raghav, but I want to take a quick comment from Nikhat. Can you hear me, Nikhat?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, Nikhat, the question is, the ITBP reports to the Home Ministry.
Right now is directly trying to blame the family and the central government. I mean, you should have that.
Who is blaming the family?
Am I blaming something has happened and you are responsible for the security.
What's wrong
for the security, Mr. Chadha, Delhi government is responsible or not? You have to answer me this. That do you really think that COVID centers, security is
it was under the ITBP, Nikhat.
I mean, you can't just face off like that.
Yeah, you get some literate people to.
All right, okay, I'm going to close. Okay, Nikhat, the ITBP reports to the Home Ministry.
Agreed, and that is the reason I'm saying that whatever has happened will be taken care of.
Okay, fine. All right, okay.
The government will work on that.
Okay, I'm going to. Okay, appreciate you both for joining us. Appreciate you both for joining us. That's the sad part, but. It's not, the sad part is it's not just Delhi. There have been at least 3 rapes that have happened in COVID facilities. We're not just talking about Delhi. We're talking about Maharashtra. We are talking about Uttar Pradesh, Aligarh. All in COVID hospitals and COVID facilities. With that, it's a quick wrap on that, but we do leave you with this story. Papad, well, can it cure the deadly COVID-19? The Union Minister, Arjun Singh Meghwal, claims it can. He has launched a Papad brand called Bhabiji, claiming that it can help develop antibodies to fight coronavirus. One wonders what the government thinks. One wonders what the Prime Minister thinks, who heads the cabinet, on which is part Arjun Meghwal.
They are calling it biggest crisis mankind has faced. Bigger than the Second World War. Countries have deployed every weapon in their arsenal in the war on coronavirus. India is leading the fight and leaving nothing to chance. From developing vaccine to herbal medicine to papads or papadams. You heard it right. A novel papad to fight the novel coronavirus. Bhabiji Papad comes with a guarantee. It is endorsed by none less than a union minister.
Bhabiji Papad नाम से एक पापड़ निर्माता ने एक ऐसा ब्रांड निकाला है जिससे कोरोना वायरस से लड़ने के लिए जो एंटीबॉडी डेवलप होने के लिए जो साधन है खाने के माध्यम से बॉडी में जाएंगे।
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.